Hello, everyone. I hope all is well with you. I want to discuss a couple of different topics today. So it's going to be almost all over the place, but I'm going to do my best to try to get my point of view across. Before I begin, just know that these are some of the things that I'm working on myself. So the advice that I'm giving was given to me, put into my spirit to do. Please, by any means necessary, don't think I have this perfect relationship. My marriage is good. It can be better. We can do better. So by all means, please, please, please don't think that I'm painting this perfect image, because I'm not. Some of the things that I want to talk about honestly today is, first, let me put myself out there. I suffer from anxiety and depression. So I be on my highs, I be on my lows. I go through a lot, feeling insecure, feeling unloved, unwanted. These are some of the things that you go through when you're severely depressed. And anxiety make you anxious, like, oh my gosh, when is it going to end? This is coming. But in reality, it's all in your mental. And I'm learning that. I'm dealing with that. And I ask God to guide me and lead me a lot. He's put someone in my life that really helps me, keeps me grounded, and helps me understand my wife better. Let me put that out there. And so, one of the things that I really want to talk about today is dating after you've been in a relationship, a marriage, a commitment, whichever one you call it or you see. Dating your significant other is very, very important. We forget to do that. So me and my wife went on a date slash let's go watch the game last week. And we probably hadn't been on a date in about in a year or so. But one of the things that we learned in counseling was you needed to go on a date once a week. Do a little sweet nothing, And going on a date does not mean going out spending money. It means you can have a picnic in your home. You could take a walk in the park. You could have movie night. Just you and your mate. No children, no cat, no dog, no family members. Just you all. And in that moment, if y'all are home, I have a do not disturb sign that I really haven't used, but put your do not disturb sign on, set your tone so that whomever lives with you knows this is not the time because I'm with my mate and we're having date night. Be in tune to one another. And that goes back to being the bigger person, setting the tone, being able to talk about different things while you're engaging in this date night. It gives you a chance to have that open communication that is needed. My wife and I used to go to counseling, and I so miss that because we were able to express ourselves and understand one another even when we were saying difficult things that we didn't want to say. Even if one of us was like, I don't want this anymore. We were able to express that. And that's very, very, very important in a relationship. Again, there's no right or wrong. For myself, it's what you do to get past what happened. It's what you do to keep your relationship going. So one of the things that's very important is date night. Sometimes the things that I love truly about my wife in the beginning are some of the things that I really truly dislike about her. But however, that is her as a person, and guess what? In the beginning, it was all love. So therefore, that's on me. You get it? I loved it in the beginning. I need to love it now. And I do. I just sometimes get aggravated, but I'm thankful for the person that she is. We can go at it over and over and over again, but that's still my wife. I still love her unconditionally, and she's not going anywhere, and neither am I. And that's what you have to have in your mind. Please don't think that that's what my mind thinks all the time. I'm programming my mind to know that. I'm programming my mind to understand that you're gonna have bad days, maybe weeks, possibly even a month, but that does not mean under any circumstances that it's the end. That comes back to our date nights. So if you're dating one another, you're enjoying one another. If you're dating one another, you're remembering the passion that you had for that person or have for that person. So it's very important to engage in date night. It's very important to remember also that unfortunately the little sweet nothings that's done in the beginning to woo you, or you did to woo your mate, they fade away. Would we like for them to stay? Absolutely. And that's one of the things you can discuss in date night. But that does not mean that your mate doesn't love you, that your mate does not view you the same way. It just means that I did what I needed to do to win you over, and I love you, and now we live together. It's totally different. When you live with someone, you see them, you live them, not unless y'all are on a different shift. For instance, I'm gonna say I work for myself, but I work for a company that allows me to make my own schedule, to go when I want. I'm very thankful and blessed to have this job because I'm able to maintain my bills, still do the things that I would love to do, and be happy. But most importantly, my wife works Monday through Thursday. My biggest income is from Friday to Sunday. So that puts a wedge on us because guess what? We don't see each other. And I'm the one that starts to feel lonely, neglected, upset. But in reality, we're on two different schedules. That doesn't mean that she doesn't love me, that she doesn't want to be a part of my world. It just means we're on two different schedules. So now for myself, I have to revamp my schedule to where I still have to work on the weekends, but I can get up and go out earlier, do what I need to do so that I'm able to come home and spend more time with my wife. Period. Point blank. And again, had we been having our date nights and the tone was right. And I keep saying tone because my friend laid that into my spirit, and I'm so thankful and grateful for that because she was telling me, hey, you should set the tone, you should run some bath water, you should do this. The things that I tell people, she's telling me. But I received it because guess what? I can give somebody all the advice in the world, but when it comes to myself, I don't take my own advice. That's weird, I know, but it's the truth. And a lot of people does that or do that, whichever one is the correct way to say it. And so with that being said, it was like, okay, listen, I did not set the tone when I approached the situation. So it was horrible. So now I'm calling my newfound friend and I'm upset. And she's like, yeah, I really wanted you to do all of those things to set the tone so that it could be easier. And I'm looking like, yeah, I didn't. So, but that wasn't my wife's fault. Was it? No, not at all. So again, certain things that we do and say are very important in which the manner you say it. And when you have that date night once a week, you're able to stay in love with one another. You're able to communicate. Watch the sunrise or watch the sunset. Watch the stars come out. Just anything that allows you to communicate. What is your mate's love language? What is your love language? Do y'all respect one another's love language? Those are very important. And a relationship is just not with your significant other, your wife, your husband, your spouse, your partner, whichever way you want to say it. It also deals with your friends as well. Now, of course, you're not going to go out on a date once a week with your friends, but hang out, catch up, let them know that you're there for them. That's really important. And I'll be the first to say, I am a sucky friend. I promise. I can love you to death, to pieces. And I know that I have to do better as far as being a friend, being there for my friends. I'm there when it comes to hurting over the phone. Like, you will always, not always, because if I'm spending time with my wife, one of the most important things that I do now, like now, just recently, I don't answer my phone. That's one of her pet peeves. I will be on my phone all day, every day, playing the game, shopping online. And she's like, listen, put your phone down. Okay. And as soon as I say okay, about 5 minutes later, I pick my phone back up. So that's one of the things that I'm really, truly working on. So yesterday, I did a thing. I didn't have my phone. Very proud of myself. Well, in the beginning, because she was supposed to work yesterday, very upset because her toe was not completely healed from her surgery. Excuse me, she's still in a lot of pain, but she had to go to work, and I was not happy. And she came home. She listened to her wife and her grandmother. Thank you, babe. And so she came home, but she had to work today, and I'm really worried. Because her healing time is important anyway. So listening to her, even when she says, oh, it don't matter, I'm learning that the tone that she says, oh, it doesn't matter, in really means that I'm mad, I'm pissed off, and I'm not telling you. And that came from a very close friend of both of ours to help me understand her a little bit. So when you have people that's in your corner and they're rooting for you, they will lead you in the right direction. You just have to be receptive to it, and you have to work on it to the best of your abilities, so that you understand when it's coming. Your mate could say it every day, all day, and this hurt her feelings, but it also hurt mine when I was trying to express that to her. So sometimes when the tables turn, it's not a good thing. However, you can relate and understand one another. Why can you receive it from the next person but not your mate? Because sometimes it's the way that your mate says it. It's the delivery of it. It's when you want to receive it. And unfortunately, we can hear our friends better than we hear our mate when we're going through something. It makes more sense. That doesn't mean that we love one another less. That doesn't mean that you listen to this person more. And these are the things that goes through your mind when someone say, yeah, so when such and such said to me, it resonated and I understood it. Now you're looking like, are you serious? Really? Did I not just say that? And so it's like confirmation. So it's like your mate says something, and then you're giving confirmation from somebody really close to you. Sometimes my confirmation comes from a complete stranger that God will send to me. Even when beginning my relationship, and you're going to hell because you're with the woman. This is not how it's supposed to be. God sent several people to me to say, love who you love. Be you, but still spread my word and talk to people. Still be humble and treat people gracefully. Still know yourself. And unfortunately, I did that in the beginning, and then I lost myself because I felt like no one in my family was supportive of me. And so it makes a big difference in your life. The hurt that you feel is unreal. So I know firsthand how it feels for someone not to accept something and have to deal with it. The truth of the matter is that I'm still learning how to deal with that. Sometimes families could be so close that it's damaging to each other. You have to mind your business and know your place in all that you do. Support me, even if you don't feel like this is the relationship you want me to be in. If you see that I'm happy and I'm glowing, mind your business. Know your place and just be happy for me, period. But anyway, again, like I said, it's just different topics that I really truly wanted to hit today. I'm going to go back to dating your mate. I'm going to go back to rekindling your relationship. One of the hardest things to do nowadays is to fight for your relationship. So many people will throw in the towel. Why? Why did you choose that person if you weren't willing to fight? Just why? Now, don't get me wrong, because if you've done everything that you needed to do, you sacrificed, you prayed, you did everything in your power, and it still wasn't working and making a difference. And when God said it's okay to let go, then okay, let go. Because some people are not meant to be together. But the most important part is that you fight and you put up this fight. Stop giving up. That's what America shows us today. Give up, walk away. You have all these billboards that says divorce. What about counseling? What about fight? What about love? Give up? Really? This is what we come to? Let go. Why? Why did you get involved with me if you weren't going to fight? Just why? No, so don't let go. Fight for me. Continue to love me like you did in the beginning. It's okay. It doesn't matter what the next person think, feel, say. It's what's in your heart. It's what you and that person put together that matters more than anything in this world. So we have to find things to give us outlets. Take a vacation by yourselves. No children, period. And then you have your family vacation. And when you have a blended family, Jesus, you have to pray even harder. You have to fight even harder, especially in my family, because the whispers, the opinions, all of that you have, and it's in your mind because your family is so close. But at the end of the day, no one in your family can love you and lay down with you the way that your mate does. No one. So now y'all not together. You're unhappy. They still have issues in their relationship and they're working them out. Where are you? All alone and by yourself. I've never been one to judge, and I pray that I don't start judging. I always look at both sides, even when it comes to my children, my wife, my ex-husband. I've always considered both sides. And a lot of people get mad at me for that. But that's who I am as a person. Just because you're my child does not make you right. Just because you're my wife or my ex does not make you right. And it's no one's business when you and your mate do not agree. That's something that y'all handle in private. Oh, guess what? That's something y'all could talk about on your date night. You get it? Your life is your life. It may not be the best or what you think a relationship should be, but it's always the work that you put into it. When you find someone to love you for you with your flaws, you have to love them for them and their flaws. You don't get to pick and choose how to change them, because in reality, you can't change them. In reality, you love them and you knew that they had flaws. So how can you change that person? It's a lot of things that I would love for my wife to change about herself, but then I'm taking her from her. Is that fair to her? I'm pretty sure it's a lot of things that she would love for me to change about myself, but then she's taking me away from me. So is that fair to her? Is that fair to me? Is that fair to us? When you love someone, you love them for their good, for their bad, for their ugly, for their great. You have so many different movies that just, oh, leave, oh, creep, oh, I was in love with this person, or oh, I did that. You don't have movies coming out anymore to show how someone fought for their love to get back to one another, to be pure, to be genuine. Like my friend said, even when temptation comes, because it comes, are you going to fight temptation, or are you going to give in to temptation? And that's how I'm going to leave this. If you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. I thank you for listening. Again, I love you all, and I pray that everyone is having a great day. Mwah.